Hello everyone, thank you for the time given to me. Now I'm to tell you about another Gulliver's travel. The first time I introduce myself, my name is Barbara Watoto. You can call me Betty. I come from Travels, Canada, but no country American. I to tell about you a novel Gulliver Travel of Chapter 1. The author gives some accounts of himself and family. He first includes to travel. He is bivouac and swims for his life. Gets safe on shore in the country of Lilliput. Is made a prisoner and carried up to the country. My father had a small estate in Nottingsmere. I was the child of 5 sons. He sent me to Emmanuel College in Cambridge at 14 years old, where I resided 3 years, and I built myself close to my study. But the change of many things me, although I had a very scanty allowance, being too great for a narrow opportunity. I was but apprenticed to Mr. James Bates, an eminent surgeon in London, with whom I continued for a year. My father now and then sending me small summer of money. I let them out in the learning, navigation, and the other parts of the mathematics, useful to those who inside to travel, as I always believe it will be some time or other my fortune to do. When I left Mr. Bates, I went to down to my father, where by the assistance of him and my Uncle John and some other relation I got to 40 pounds and a promise of 30 pounds a year to maintain me at Leiden. There, there I studied physical 2 years and 7 months, knowing it will be useful in long voyages. Soon after my return from Leiden, I was recommended by my good master, Mr. Bates, to be sergeant to the soul, Captain Abraham Panel, commando, with whom I continued 30 years and a half, making of way or two into the Levant and some other parts. When I come back, I resolved to stay in London, to which Mr. Bates, my master, encouraged me, and by him I was recommended to several parents. I took part of a small house in the old Jewry, and being advised to alter my condition, I married Mr. Mary Burton, second daughter to Mr. Edmund Burton, hosier in Newquay Street, with whom I received 40 hundred pounds for a pension. But my godmaster Peter staying into the years after, and I having to friend, my business began to fail, for my conscience will not suffer me to imitate the bad particle of too many among my brethren. Having to refer console with my wife and some of my acquaintances, I determined to go again to sea. As I was surged successfully into the ship and made several voyages for 6 years to the East and West India, by which I got some addition to my fortune. My hours of leisure I spent in the reading the best authors, ancient and modern, being always provided with a good number of books, and when I was ashore in a pursuing the manners and disposition of the people, as well as learning their language, wherein, wherein I had a great facilities by the strength of my memory. The last of these Fuguyan not proving very fortunate, I grew weary of the sea and intended to stay at home with my wife and family. I removed from the Algeria to fertile land, and from thence Jew was being hop, hoping to get business among the sailors, but it would not turn to account. After 3 years expansion, the things will mend. I expect an advance Thomas after from Captain William Bricard, master of the Antelepo, who was making a voyage to the South Sea. We set sail from Brisbane, May 4, and our Fukuya was at first very preposterous. It won't, it would not be proper for some reason to travel to reading with the particle of our adventure in the seas. Let it suggest to inform him that in our passage from thence to the East India, we were driven by a violent storm to the north, was often demands land. By one observation, we found ourselves in the latitude of 30 degrees 2 minutes south. 12 of our crew were dead by import rates, labor and ill food. The rest were in a very well condition. On the 15th of November, which was the beginning of summer in those parts, the weathering being very hazy. The sea mean speed around within half a cable's leg of the ship, but the wind was so strong. Then we were driven directly upon it, and immediately split. 6 of the crowd, of whom I was one, having let down the boat into the sea, made a shift to get clear of the ship and the rock. We rowed by my computation about 3 leagues, till we were able to work on longer, being already spent with labor while we were into the ship. The three trusted ourselves to the mercy of the waves, and about half an hour the boat was overset by a sudden flurry from the north. What became of my companions in the boat, as well as of those we escaped in the truck or were left in the rail, I cannot tell, but conclude they were all lost. For my own part, I swam as fortune grants me and was pushed forward by wind and tide. I often let my legs drop and could feel no bottom, but when I was almost gone and able to struggle no longer, I found myself within my depth, and by this time the storm was much abated. The delivery was a small, then I walked near a mile before I got to the shore, which I continued to was about 8 o'clock in the evening. I then advanced forward near half a mile, but could not discover any sign of horses or inhabitants. At last I was in so weak a condition that I would not observe them. I was extremely tired and with that, and the heat of the weather, and about half a pint of brandy. Then I drank as I left the ship. I found myself much inclined to sleep. I lay down on the grass, which was very sore and soft, where I slept sounder than ever I remembered to have done in my life, and as I reckoned about 9 hours for when I woke up, it was just daylight. I attempted to rise but was not able to stir, for as I happened to lie on my back, I found my arms and legs were strongly fastened on each side to the ground, and my hair, which was long and thick, tied down in the same manner. I likewise slept several slender ligatures across my body, from my armpits to my thighs. I could only look upward. The sun began to grow hot, and the light opened my eyes. I heard a consciousness about me, but in the posture I lie down, see nothing except the sky. In a little time, I felt some things alive moving on my left leg, which, advancing gently forward over my breast, came almost up to my chin. When bending my eye downward as much as I would, I prevailed into the be a human creation, not 6 inches high, with a bow and arrow in his hands and a quiver at his back. In the meantime, I feel at least 40 more of the same kind, or as I conclusion, following at the first. I was in the outward astonishment and so loud that they all ran back in a fright, and some of them, as I was afterward told, were hurt with the fall they caused by leaping from my slide upon the ground. However, they soon reasoned, and one of them, who ventured so far as to go to a full sight of my face, lifting up his hands and I by way of admiration, carried out in a sheer but distant voice, Hekinaka Dagul. The other repeated the same words several times, but then I knew not what they meant. Allow all this while, as to read my belief in great unity. At length, strongly to God last, I had a fortune to break the strings and reach out the pegs, the fasten my left arm to the ground, for leaving it up to my face. I discovered the, the measures they had taken to mind me, and at the same time, with a violent power which gave my excessive pain, I a little loosened the strength to tie down my hair on the left side, so that I was just able to turn my hand about to incast. But the question ran off a second time before I could say then, whereupon there was a great shout in a very sheer ascent, and after it occasion I heard one of them cry loud, Tolgo Ponak, when in an instant I feel above 100 hours aroused. This chair on my left hand, which pricked me like so many nails, and besides they saw another fact in the air, as Sweden bombs in Europa were of many, I suppose, fell on my body, or through I left the note, and some on my face, which I immediately covered with my left hand. When this hour of arrow was over, I feel a groaning with grief and pain, and the striving again to get lost, they destroying another folia larger than the first, and some of them appearing with spear to stick me in the side. But by good luck, I handed out jerkin, which they could not perceive. I threw it the much burden made one to last still, and my rationale was to continue to still night when my left hand being already lost, I could easily free myself. And as for the inhabitants, I had reason to believe a might be a match for the Crescent army to could bring against me. If they were all the same size with him they saw, but fortunately sponsor otherwise of me. When the people observed I was quit, they distinct no more around, but by the noise I hear, I know their numbers increase in about 40 years from me. Over against my right ear, I hear a knocking for about an hour, like that of people at works. Okay, guys, that's all my other story novel about Gulliver's travel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.